In our Sunrise Smart Start, police are asking for the public's help finding a missing vulnerable adult.
82-year-old Donald Kinney of Rochester is described as 5'10", white, 175 pounds, with gray hair and blue eyes. He was last seen on Brooks Avenue in the city around 4:30 yesterday, wearing a white T-shirt, light tan shorts, a black belt, and black shoes. He was driving a 2020 gray Hyundai Santa Fe with a New York plate JMU 6389.
Well, Rochester police have made a homicide arrest.
31-year-old Timothy Thomas is charged with fatally shooting 42-year-old Orlando Santiago back in May. Investigators say Thomas is the brother of Bradley Thomas, who was shot by Santiago in 2019. Santiago was working as a security guard at the time, and the court ruled that the shooting was a justifiable homicide. Police are looking for the vehicle that was allegedly used during the fatal shooting. Anyone with information is asked to call 911.
A 25-year-old man is in the hospital this morning with non-life-threatening injuries after being shot on Magnolia Street overnight. Police tell us this happened just before 1 a.m. No suspects are in custody as police continue their investigation.
James, comfortable start to this Wednesday as folks make their way out the door.
Yeah, we'll call it a crisp morning if you are getting out for a walk with a dog, or maybe just to stretch the legs to kick off the day. Beautiful sunrise we had at 5:34. So we'll go mostly sunny to start, but clouds start to increase as we get throughout the morning, and then a few rain showers pop up right around lunchtime. They do not last long. They slide on by, and then they are out of here as we get through tonight. We'll do an 8-day forecast at the end of the show. Mark, Alley?
James, thank you. Another check of the roads with our sunrise traffic. We mentioned it a moment ago, an accident in Webster, East Main Street at North Street. 390, 490, and 590 are up to speed as you make your way out the door. News 8 is your local election headquarters. The matchup for governor here in New York is set this morning.
Incumbent Governor Kathy Hochul securing the Democratic nomination. Lee Zeldin winning the primary in the Republican race. The two candidates for governor giving their victory speeches last night.
Are we ready to fire Kathy Hochul?
To the women of New York, this one's for you.
The gubernatorial election will take place in November. Also on the ballot for our area, the Republican candidates for Ontario County Sheriff Silvio Palermo trailing David Sorencione, and Rochester City Court Judge with Latoya Lead in the lead. You can find a full list of results over at rochesterfirst.com.
And developing this morning, a motorcyclist is dead after a crash yesterday in Shiloh.
This happened in the area of West Side Drive and Buffalo Road. Police have not identified the driver of the motorcycle yet. Erica Cost has been following this for us. She joins us in studio this morning with more. Erica.
Good morning. Well, driving around, you'll definitely notice a lot of motorcycles on the road with the warmer weather. Unfortunately, we have been getting a lot of reports into our newsroom for accidents. The instance yesterday, again, costing a life. Police haven't released the age, gender, or name of the motorcyclist who died, and we're hearing a car may have also been involved. Deputies are asking anyone who's in the area to report information if they saw it. According to the National Highway and Traffic Safety Administration, fatal motorcycle crashes are also on the rise. 2021 saw an increase of 9% compared to the year before, and 2019 saw the highest number of fatalities since 1975.
It's difficult for everybody involved, the deputies who are handling the scene, the fire personnel, the Ogden Police Department again, the medical examiner, everybody. It's difficult for everybody, but most importantly, it's going to be difficult for the family and friends. The most important part is that if anybody saw anything, to give us a call. Call 911 and help us get any information that we can to figure out what happened.
Now, some tips to make the road safer according to AAA. As a driver, check mirrors and blind spots. Signal before turning and increase your distance between you and the motorcyclist. For motorcyclists, check tire pressure and tread depth before riding. Always wear a helmet and make yourself appear visible by keeping your lights on and wearing bright colors. In the studio, Erica Cost, News 8.
Erica, thank you. Monroe County Sheriff's deputies are unsure how many others were involved in this accident. Again, anyone with information is asked to call 911.
In national news this morning, the 6th public hearing by the Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack wrapping up yesterday. During that hearing, former White House aide Cassidy Hutchinson testified about the days in the White House before and during the insurrection.
Hutchinson said then President Trump was upset about low attendance numbers at his January 6th rally and allegedly tried to order the Secret Service to remove magnetometers so more people could attend. Hutchinson said fans of Mr. Trump couldn't get into the rally space because they had firearms and other weapons and didn't want the Secret Service to confiscate them.
Well, 51 migrants, including some children, have now died after being abandoned in the back of a tractor trailer in San Antonio, Texas.
At least a dozen are still in the hospital as investigators search and try to identify the victims. Naomi Ruckham has an update on the investigation.
More than 50 lives are lost in what officials believe could be the deadliest human smuggling case in modern U.S. history. Investigators believe the 18-wheeler semi-truck discovered Monday in San Antonio had mechanical problems when it was left on a remote back road in triple-digit heat. Initially, 16 survived and were taken to area hospitals. 5 later died, including children. A small memorial now sits at the site where the truck was found.
We mourn for those 51 immigrants who came to us to breathe that fresh air, but instead found death in the state of Texas.
At a vigil honoring those who died, fellow immigrants asked for a form and shared their own stories of surviving the trip across the border.
I came here when I was 14 years old in an 18-wheeler as well, and I passed out from the heat. So this hits.
Authorities are now trying to identify the dozens of victims who were from Mexico, Guatemala, and Honduras. That task is painstaking, as many of the migrants carried false documents or none at all.
They don't have a choice. They don't have a life, and they don't feel safe. They're hungry. So for them, America is not a choice. It's the only option they have.
The driver of the truck and 2 other people were arrested. 2 men are facing weapons possession charges. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News.
And President Biden calling the deaths horrifying and heartbreaking, pledging the administration's support to crack down on human smugglers.
Well, shifting gears now, here's what some folks might be talking about at the water cooler this morning. For those who may not know, today is Mark's last day here at News 8 after more than 10 years. This will be his last morning show with us.
Mark, we're going to miss you.
We are going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you guys as well, but I'm going to be getting a little more sleep going forward.
Yes.
You are. We're jealous.
Yeah, you know, I would ask maybe what's the most you're looking forward to, but I'm saying the Z's.
Certainly the Z's and a little better work-life balance. So that's the big driver here is to make sure I've got a little more time with my family.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Not a bad reason. Well, we're going to take a look back at some of the memories over the past 10 years.
Veterans are encouraged to bring their spouse, family members, or friends to Saturday's town hall meeting. Devastating news for Chad and Dawn Drexel, who learned today the missing person case of their daughter. Chi-Li teen Brittany Drexel has become a search for her remains and a killer. In the past, home security was passive, but now with technology like our smartphone, it's an active process. Here in the courtyard at East High School is evidence of Frederick Douglass's enduring legacy in Rochester.
It's happening digitally, streaming online, with people watching these games around the world. The excitement beginning to build. The players are on campus, tucked in their beds, up in the dorms. They'll be on the practice field behind me. Well, we're all having trouble with the subject this morning, but I'm loopy. I'm delirious right now. Tomorrow on Sunrise. Come on, it's too fast. Let's do this.
Okay.
I don't know if we're okay.
I don't think so.
Go ahead and roll your tape. We're ready. Always great to have you in studio.
Mark. Great to be here.
So as we finish up, move into fall, I got to do that over. I messed my own lineup. It's not often that I feel underdressed out here, but right now I feel like I'm on the losing end of this equation. I don't know if we can bring ourselves to the moment here, but we're going to very, very hard.
This is obviously very, very serious theater.
It is.
This is, you know,
Truly. That goes without saying. They get lost in it. I'm kind of lost in the moment. I get it. And that's a wrap.
Some awesome stories, Mark, there.
Good memories there. A lot of fun, for sure. I've had a lot of fun in this studio.
The interviews, I mean, you must have done thousands, I would think.
Oh, thousands is, I think that's a fair estimate. And as you see, it's run the gamut. You know, from the doctors, so essential during the pandemic, to the CPAs, all the way to the local art scene. It's been a great ride. I've truly enjoyed it.
Yeah, and the highlights that you've done, I think, for some of the spots, you know, Nazareth Theater, right? Some of the local spots that I, you know, would say if, without you would not get the coverage. So
yeah, and I think that's the big part about what we do is obviously we've got to report the news day in and day out. We do a great job of that, but also shining a light in some of the corners of our community that otherwise wouldn't get that attention. Hopefully it's showed you a few things, taught you a few things, and maybe given you a few laughs through the years as well.
Yes, certainly. And you've taught me how to be a better dad, which I certainly appreciate.
There you go.
That's a work in progress for all of us.
Yes, certainly. Well, you have a good weekend to enjoy.
Yes.
You've got a nice July 4th coming up. Both Saturday and Sunday do look pretty good. Maybe a little bit of rain early Saturday, but otherwise we'll send you off, Mark.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mark, for all you've done, and we'll definitely miss you. Thank you so much for watching News 8 at Sunrise.
We do have an update in 30 minutes. CBS Mornings is up next. Have a great day.